In the early hours of April 12, 1982, the Mattingly Home for Children, a century-old orphanage nestled in the mist-covered outskirts of Halbrook County, Vermont, mysteriously and completely emptied 30 for children and 6 staff members disappeared overnight, leaving behind untouched breakfast trays, open books, scattered toys, and warm bedsheets as if they had vanished mid-motion. The Mattingly home had always carried an odd reputation among locals, operating since 1889 in a towering, ivy-choked Gothic building that had once been an asylum during the Civil War, and then a tuberculosis ward before being converted into an orphanage in 1921, known for its religious discipline, midnight prayers, and the strange musical bells that rang every day at 3:15 p.m. The place remained an enigma even for the townspeople who supplied it with food and services. On the morning of the disappearance, Father Callahan, the last known person to visit the orphanage, arrived to deliver communion and found the iron gates unlatched, all 12 of the building's doors wide open, and not a single voice echoing inside a place once filled with footsteps and song now filled with nothing but silence and dust motes in golden light. Local authorities began a full-scale investigation, joined within days by the state police and later the FBI, but found nothing. No signs of break-in, no vehicles missing, no tracks in or out, no letters left behind, no emergency calls or electrical disturbances, just silence. Even the surveillance system, installed only 2 months prior, had failed its tapes showing only static for exactly 7 hours from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., after which the cameras resumed filming an empty building. Over time, urban legends bloomed. Some said it was a mass kidnapping, others whispered of cult activity, or that the children had been taken for experiments, yet none of the theories ever stuck. Because there was nothing to disprove, and more chillingly, nothing to prove. The case was filed as mass unexplained disappearance and faded into myth. Until 3 decades later, in 2012, when a real estate developer bought the property to convert the abandoned building into a boutique hotel and tasked a crew with clearing the basement while demolishing a false wall in the eastern cellar. The workers found a staircase descending into a previously unknown sublevel sealed stone corridor, leading to a massive underground chapel lined with pews carved with children's names, and a pulpit facing a strange metallic archway embedded into the far wall. Nearby were 30 for small beds arranged in a perfect circle, and beneath each bed were crude drawings and journal entries, many in different handwriting, but each bearing the same recurring phrase, "She sings to us in the walls." The crew immediately reported the discovery, and within 24 hours the site was overrun with federal officials who sealed the area and declared it a structural risk zone. However, a member of the demolition crew, a man named Eddie Pike, had secretly taken photos and uploaded them to a fringe blog that night, setting off a digital firestorm. When internet sleuths recognized the names from the pews as those of the missing children from 1982, independent researchers combed through archived property records and discovered something even stranger: blueprints from 1901 referenced a chamber of lamentation, Beneath the building something removed from all later versions, and in 1954, a nun named Sister Lorna filed a written complaint to the diocese stating, "The children are hearing her again. It begins with the humming, then the scratching, then the voice under the floorboards." This matched reports found in 1927 from the original TB ward doctors, describing patients exhibiting identical hallucinations and bleeding from the ears before being taken in the night. In 2013, an anonymous source within the Vermont State Police leaked internal memos about an item recovered from the chamber, a large, ornately etched tuning fork made of blackened steel, suspended in the air above the archway, that vibrated continuously, despite being physically untouched, emitting frequencies outside human hearing range. Paranormal investigators dubbed it the Orpheus Gate, theorizing it was a resonance-based mechanism that opened an interdimensional terror, or worse, a summoning device. Then came the recordings, audio files captured by construction cameras, before they were removed, containing faint hymns sung in children's voices and a low, humming melody that caused immediate nausea and hallucinations in listeners. In response, all access to the site was blocked indefinitely, and a statement was issued claiming asbestos contamination. But residents living near the Mattingly grounds began reporting strange phenomena: lights seen in the underground windows, children's laughter echoing at dawn, and one man, a delivery driver, who swore he saw a barefoot girl standing in the snow by the iron gate, mouthing the words she's still singing. Most disturbing of all, in 2014, a school teacher in nearby Bradford received a package with no return address containing a dusty red journal. Inside were detailed sketches, names of all 30 for children, and a final page that read, "We're not missing, we're listening, and soon you will too." The ink was confirmed to match the kind used in 1982. The case remains officially closed, but local officials refuse to build over the property, and no one has successfully entered the sealed lower chapel since the tuning fork, according to those who last saw it, is still humming.